So I guess it's good. Yeah, I guess it's enough. Okay. So we are actually living right now. So we are actually in streaming right now. So it is quite interesting. Today I will do. I will just wait a few seconds. So today I will do a small chess masterclass. So if you want to participate with the crowd, which I have right now, you don't have to use a microphone because anybody is actually using his microphone. But if you want to take part in the lecture, you can just write in the comment section. So let's just start. Today we will talk about playing aggressively with the black pieces. So I am a hyper modern chess player. So for me, playing solid lines and drawish openings is the best way to play for a win, because when the positions are equalized, it is a lot more easier to play for a win than in the position in which you are not feeling so great. For example, in the position in which your king is never safe, it's not a good idea for me to play for a win. So I can try to find some counterplay because we are not engines, we can do mistakes. But because we can do mistakes, I prefer to play some solid lines and then somehow playing and fighting for a win. So we will actually start with the first game, which I played with the black pieces. Today I will only show games with the black pieces. So I played this game on Chess Arena. Somehow I'm feeling more comfortable playing on Chess Arena. And yeah, so I played a game. I guess you can already see. Wait, I have just to open a second window. So it's pretty fun. So in this game, no wait, it's not the game. I'm sorry, it's not the game. I have to import another game. It was first analysis, but I didn't want to show you analysis. So we are actually ready. So it's okay. I will just open a new window. So it's pretty funny. So it is like I played with the black pieces against the guy who's named Bold Chalk Ochir, somebody from Montenegro, I guess. So I played like an engine. Actually, I really made only two inaccuracies. So we will direct start our game. So he played with the white pieces, I played with the black pieces, and we played a Caro-Kann defense. So I mean a Slav defense, but I always start with c6 because after e4 I always play c6. So now I played c6, c4, d5, and we are transposing in a Slav defense. So actually I'm not so familiar with all the names because I prefer know the openings than knowing the names of the openings. So I played the Slav type of structure with c6, d5, e6, and I'm actually threatening to take the pawn. And this is what happened in the game. He played bishop f4, and I played the most critical line. I took the pawn on c4 like I always do. And now there is some way to play for the white pieces. So we can play a4 in order to prevent me from playing b5. We can play e4, b5, e5, and the line goes on. Or even some lines which I have played with the white pieces a lot, but only in rapid and chess and blitz games. It's b3 with the idea of sacrificing a pawn, but having a huge lead in development, and then the rook on d1, e4, bishop c4, and yeah. But it's bullshit, to be quite honest with you. So it's not bullshit, but I guess you are already equalizing the position, which is the thing that we want to do with the black pieces. But he played e3. The engine says it's inaccurate. For humans, it is quite a correct move, I guess. But yeah, so a4 was the best. After a4, for example, I could go bishop b4, please, bishop b4, for example, g3, castle. I put this line on. So yeah, it's a typical idea with a5 in order to protect the bishop, and then somehow we'll try to play b5. And yeah, knight d5, for example, with the idea of taking and pawn takes, and we are just a pawn up actually, and there is no counterplay for white. So this is nothing because I just go there and this. Oh no, wait. Probably g6 and bishop d6 is the line, probably. Yeah, I guess so. So But he decided to play e3, so I played b5. And now after a4, I just played bishop b4. And bishop b4 is actually the critical move in this position, because if I don't have this move, he would just take back on b5, and I cannot play a6, because after all these trades, I'm just losing the rook, so it's not good for me. So that's why I played bishop b4, so that after takes, there is no knight takes. And actually, he took on b5. Probably he was just surprised, and he played bishop e2. So now I have played quite a solid line from the Slav defense, most critical line, and I played this position without any doubt. To be quite honest with you, I just understood that taking the pawn is good enough. I have analyzed that, so now I just know the position. I just know this position better than my opponent. So I played bishop b7. Now I just want to play a6 and be sure that I won't lose any of my pawns. He played castle, so now I just took on c3, because if I play b6, I don't like the idea that the knight is still alive, and then probably he will at the right moment play b3, then take, and I don't know what. It's just better for me, I guess, to take the knight, because the d5 square is weak. So after a6, queen b1, this is a threat. Probably I would just go there, and there is no problem because everything is protected. So he played knight e5, I played knight b7. Okay, inaccurate, but this is an engine inaccuracy. He played f3, and now I guess you already see the problem with this position. The pawn on c3 is weak, there is a bishop on f4, so I just want to attack both, and just try to take the bishop back, doubling the pawns, taking this pawn on c3 and being again a pawn up. But the pawn is not so important for me. The real problem is this bishop, because if this bishop is there, then he will have some counterplay on the black squares. It's nothing, but I really prefer not to deal with that. So he played queen c2, protecting the pawn, but okay, now I'm just trading more pieces, and I'm just completely fine. Again, the engine says it's stupid to take the bishop, but for human it is not. So, okay, I guess the knight is very beautiful, but I really want to liquidate the position and being sure that there is no counterplay for white. And now you see that I will just develop my queen with the tempo. g3, rook d8, he played king f2, I played e5. So e5 is pretty important, because I just want to open up the position, and using the fact that I have all these pawns there, because the a pawn is good, but if I cannot use that, I just cannot play passively. It's not possible for me. So again, that's the reason why I'm playing solid lines, because I just know that in the end of the opening, I can be slightly better or minimum equalize the position. So this is more important for me. Do you have any questions in the chat? This is important. Why can't we push a5? So, okay, the reason why we cannot push a5 straight away, here I guess. So actually we can, but the point is that, okay, it's completely fine, but I really want to use this bishop as much as possible. And for example, this rook on a8 is beautiful, and playing a5 will activate this rook. But somehow after rook b1, there will still be some counterplay, and using the fact that the king is on f2, somehow, just gives me some hope of opening up this diagonal. So a5 is completely fine, but again, I really want to play as active as possible, and playing e5 is a good way, because it's more activating this rook on the 8. The pawn on e6 is a bit weakened, so I just have to trade it as quickly as possible. And after e5, there was also a second question: can white can play bishop c4 checking in the queen? Yes, it's exactly what I want to talk about. Here, I cannot take the pawn straight away because of check, and I'm losing the queen. So that's why I wanted to play check first. Now the king has to move back, and my point is that I don't want to take the pawn. My point is really that I just want to improve this position, so I wanted to play rook f8 or rook e8 and taking back with the rook. So now if you play bishop f1, for example, I would just take. And there is no way to protect the pawn. So yes, I saw this during the game, so I'm not stupid, but I guess it was, for me, it was just really important to do this check first. Yeah, queen c5, and I'm completely fine. Or even queen h6, I guess, because now I'm threatening rook d2 and taking the pawn, so I have to go there in order not to get mated, and rook d2, and it's completely over, I guess. This, and bishop f3. Oh, this is even mate. Oopsie. Mate. Yeah, so pretty interesting. So okay, but my opponent decided to play other way. He played rook d1, I played queen b6, and now I will just pick up this pawn, and being only sure that there is no problem on my king, the next moves that I want to play are rook f8 and queen b6, and probably going somewhere here. He played rook d1, queen f6, and I just put some pressure on the f3 pawn that he just decided to resign. So actually you can play rook f1, but you see how all these pawns are just very, very strong. And yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So it was quite an interesting opening, quite an interesting game. I guess I could be more precise in this game, I guess, but the engine says that I didn't do any mistake or any blunder, some engine inaccuracies, but it doesn't count. So it's pretty funny. Now we will go with the second game. I just have to find a game. I guess it's this one. Yes, it is, I guess. So let's just continue with all this analysis. I played again with the black pieces. I made only 3 inaccuracies, so it's quite okay. I played 94% precision, so it's quite okay. So my opponent is pretty nice, I guess. I know him pretty well because we have already played 3 or 4 times, and every time we played, I crushed him. No, he won one time in bullet because he was faster than me. He is really fast, but it's okay. I played with the black pieces, and he played e4. So I decided to play, like always, the counter defense. So the engine says c6 is inaccurate, but it's not. Like, there's nothing. The engine prefers e6 actually. Now the engine is always saying that e6 is the best line, but at the same time it's showing us how the French defense is stupid with the black pieces. So I guess the engine is not so smart as he thinks he is. So I played c6, knight c3, d5, and now this is very important to point it out. But I guess when you're playing this line with the white pieces, you cannot take on d5 because after taking, it's fine. Taking d4, the knight is blocking the c3 pawn, and it's not a kind of Jobava system because after bishop before this, okay, you can go knight b5 or you play knight a6, but the point is that I will be fast enough to pin you. For example, this, for example, e6. This. Wait, let's start with a6, for example. Knight f3, bishop there, and you already cannot use that. So we just have a typical, I guess it is named a Tagsb position with the d5 pawn, b7, a6, and probably I will launch a minority attack. But this is not my point today. But in every case, he took on d5 like he did, and now after d4, I just played knight f6, played g3, and again bishop f4. Now bishop g4, and you don't have time to play knight b5 because I would just take your queen, and this is not mate. Yeah, it happens, but okay. So yeah, but he decided to play g3, which is very rare. Here he played bishop g5. I guess playing bishop g2 wasn't bad enough for him. For example, this, and I just cannot understand how you can fall on this type of idea in the openings. Like, okay, my opponent just get completely crushed during this game, but it's important to understand how to crush your opponent, like I did. For example, I played this bishop g4 and he played bishop e2, so now I'm just happy by trading, and he played g3 for no reason. Okay, bishop e7, a3, again, it's not improving his position. I castled, the engine prefers h6, then g5, and h5, h4, like I wanted in the game, but somehow I decided to castle first, and then decide what I will do with all my pieces. He played knight a4, and you see, again, these types of moves aren't big mistakes, but in every case, I mean, what I mean with big mistakes, is that all these moves aren't so bad that you lose immediately, but you're just destroying your own position slowly, move per move. But can someone in the crowd tell me what is the problem with knight a4? What is the knight not doing anymore? If someone can answer me. Exactly, it's not controlling e4 anymore. So now I just played knight e4, and my position is completely fine, I guess, because I have a very strong knight. he traded, which I really liked. I took with the queen. Taking with the knight is a bit inaccurate because, okay, I would just go back, but I guess I just prefer move a piece which didn't move yet. And he played f3, which is a very cool trap, because if I go on g5, it's just h4, I'm just losing my knight. This, and there is no square for my knight. So, pretty cool trap, but the king is still unsafe right now. So I decided to play knight d6 in order to go back on c4 and touch all these pawns. He played b3, controlling c4, so I decided to play h5 right now. And my idea is just to play h4 and destroying my opponent. He played knight f5, I played h4. So again, the engine prefers a move like knight f5, threatening a fork first, and then playing h4. But it's not humanly, no. Probably in the long game, I will consider knight f5 first, but again, I really wanted to destroy my opponent, and so obviously he cannot take, because after, for example, queen f6, I will attack everything. I can also take the pawn first, but after knight g2, somehow he's not, because he's just losing his pawn. I thought that his position was a bit more solid, but it's not. But okay, I decided to play queen f6 in this position. He played knight h5, which loses immediately. And again, you see how strong it is to know the opening. Like this, the Caro-Kann opening is known for being very drawish, very solid, and everybody who I know is telling me that, yeah, the Caro-Kann defense isn't made to win. But even in classical games, I have never lost a Caro-Kann game since I'm playing this line seriously in classical games. I lost in the Caro-Kann defense only in rapid games over the board, but it was sometimes only because of time, but never because of the position. Okay, in bullet games or in blitz games online, it happens to me to lose some games, but in classical games, never. So it's pretty awesome. He played rook f2, I played b5, and now I just took all the pawns. And he resigned after giving me all his pawns. There is no need to look at this position. It was very, 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 very fast. And I guess understanding what you're playing is more important than the rest. I guess understanding that a position has to be in your favor is easy, but finding a way to do so is not easy. So again, my opponent played pretty badly in this opening, but it's not because he played badly that I cannot learn anything from this position. I will show you one more game, and again, you will see how strong it is to know what you're doing. Let me see a few seconds. I just have to be sure it's this game. No, I guess it's not. Give me a few seconds. I have to be sure. Yeah, I found it. I guess I found it. I hope this is this game, because I don't quite remember the name of my opponent. Yes, it's this game. So now in this game I made a real mistake, but it's not a mistake. It's not a human mistake. Again, you have to take this in consideration during your analysis. Sometimes the engine will say, yeah, your position is completely losing or completely winning, but the winning move is impossible to see, so it doesn't really count. And for example, if you saw the move and during the game you was a bit suspicious about the quality of this move, and then during the analysis on your phone or with your engine you just see that your move was winning, try to find out why you were so afraid of this move during the game, and then look with the engine if your problems were real or not. So okay, it sounds better in my head, I guess, but it's okay. My opponent played e4, I played c6. Like always, it is inaccurate for the engine. He played d4, I played d5, and he played e5. So he played the advanced variation of the Caro-Kann defense, and this variation is actually the reason why I'm playing the Caro-Kann defense, because there is a move here that is super duper aggressive, but at the same time you really have to be precise with both camps, and you will just how can I say it? You will play for a draw in this position actually with the black pieces, even though you're super aggressive. So the bad move for me is bishop f5 because I don't like all these variations. But I played c5 like I always did and like I will always do. So now the idea is pretty simple. If you take my pawn, I will just play e6, taking back, and then I just have a better French. But this is what the engine says. I did fall in love with the move knight c6 first because, for example, after this type of moves, I will just play bishop g4, for example, c3, playing b4, a6, b4, knight e5, and I love this line. a6 is important because if I take first, and he can just take, and after I take the queen, there's this, and I'm losing. So I have to play a6 first. So c3, a6, and if you play b4, knight e5. And for example, this is a move, this, and I love this position because I don't have the black, I don't have the bad bishop on c8. It is already gone. And now I will just develop normally and playing quite a solid position. My opponent will have double pawns, and I have two central pawns for 0 pawns, so it's quite okay for me. So that's the reason why I love this variation. There are more lines, but I guess it's not what we wanted to look at. For example, this knight c3, e6, bishop e3, knight h6 was the line. Takes, knight f3, bishop g7, castle this. And this was one of my game which I played in the 6th round of my chess tournament in Metz. Yeah, it is a line. And then I played this, and somehow I completely crushed my opponent. It wasn't a good game because the engine doesn't like the game, but humanly it is a really tough game, a pretty interesting game. So okay, I played c6, my opponent played c3, which is the best move. I played knight c6, putting more pressure, and like always, I'm not afraid of this take because at minimum I can just take there. And yeah, at the moment where white takes, it is strategically more complicated for white to play this position. But it's okay to take the pawn if you can put knight or bishop on d4. But okay, my opponent played a3 with the idea of taking and playing b4, and now I'm okay with this trade because I'm just equalizing the position directly. I will just play bishop f5 like I did in the game, playing e6, and I have a very solid structure in which I will play f6 or bishop e7, f6 in order to put pressure on the e5 pawn. This is what actually happened in the game. He played knight f3, I played e6, bishop g3, bishop g6, so I could go there, I guess, but after bishop e3, I'm not such a fan of this position. I actually, even something, I guess, something like this is not so bad, I guess, because after all this trade, okay, strategically it is a nightmare to play, but at the same time I do have some issues. Yeah, but at the same time it's so hard to go there. So probably putting the bishop back is not so bad in this position. I guess it's not a mistake, so I don't know. Castle, knight e7, so if you take, I will just take back. And it's okay, and I probably just want to take, yes, and going there, knight e7. It's not a problem that I need 3 more moves to castle because this position is pretty concrete, and concretely there is no problem for me, so I guess I'm okay. He played b4, so it is still a correct move, I guess. I played a6 because I didn't want b5, but taking there first was probably okay. This, and knight there is probably correct, but I guess I was a bit afraid during the game, probably. Or I just played this. It was probably a no-brainer move. Bishop g5, so it's quite okay. This is not a bad move, everything is correct. But now I just have to complete my development, so I cannot move this knight because of this bishop, so I decided to move my queen on b6. Queen c7 or queen b8 are also possible. Queen b8 in order to go on a7. But it's okay. So he took on g6, I took back with the knight, and now I'm just completing my development. So if you're taking there, I will just take with this knight, I guess, in order to go on a5 and putting pressure there, and everything is correct. My opponent went back on f5, so on e3, so I castled. And now you can look at this position quite I don't know, actually. This position is quite good. You can look at this position carefully if you want, and, for example, analyze this line. And we can see that black has some plus and white does have some plus. So the best thing for black in this position is that I have a small lead in development, so the queen didn't move yet, the knight is still weak, so I guess after rook c8 I'm quite okay. But for this small lead in development, white has this huge center, but black will still have some f6, so I guess because we have enough counterplay in the center of the board and because of this more leading development, this position is probably equal because, okay, if knight a4 with c8, I'm not afraid of coming back, then again putting my rook on c8 and preparing f6. So I'm not so frustrated about this position because even though I lost a tempo with development, this queen b6 gave me the opportunity of castling, and at the same time he went on g5 then back on e3, so he actually lost the tempo and it's just improved my position, so I guess I'm probably even slightly better in this position. So the enjoy will say 0.3, which he says, but I guess it's not real on the board. He played knight c5, and knight c5 is already a mistake for me, so the engine says it's a normal move, but I guess this isn't. It's not losing, but it's not improving his position at all. Now I'm just playing b6, knight d3, and f6, and now my position is just strong enough because I will take and create a very weak pawn on e5, or even sometimes playing f5, f4, and sacrificing a pawn or going there with the queen somehow, I don't know how. But it's, in every case, it's a quite solid position. My opponent played queen a4, which is, okay, for me it is just a stupid move because it doesn't improve his position at all, and after the move b5, which I played, queen d1, I can just take there and the position is solid. He took with this knight, I took with the c knight, a few seconds. Yeah. Tac. Et bien sûr, pas de souci. I am very sorry, I'm back. So what I want to say is that after knight takes e5, now he just has a pawn on e5, which isn't great because I can attack it quite quickly, but at the same time, it's just it gave somehow a pawn on d5 appeared, and this is a passed pawn. He gave me a passed pawn. This pawn on d5 is giving me a free passed pawn on d5. So I guess this position is even probably better for black. So it's not winning but better. So queen c7, it's inaccurate, but I guess I don't care because rook c8 is the engine move, but rook c8 doesn't make a lot of sense, I guess. I played queen c7, winning one more tempo, and then putting my rook on c8. He played f4, rook c8, rook c1, and queen d7. And now I am just ready to push, or quite ready. I want to play rook c4, and at the right moment push d5, d3, d4, d3, d2, and playing for win. This is the right moment. Queen d3, here I played rook c4. My idea is that after we take, I will just create two more passed pawns in this position. So that's the reason why he played h3. This move again doesn't improve his position. And now rook fc8. And my position is completely fine, I guess. He took, I took back with the pawn. Taking with the rook could be a bit inaccurate because it doesn't improve my position. And now I'm just opening up more possibilities with my bishop and my pawns to attack the a3 and b4 pawn. I will just push the c pawn, the d pawn, and I'm quite unstoppable right now. So the engine will still say that position is minus 0.6, but it's nothing. I mean, humanly it is impossible to play. So he played queen c3. Queen d4 is probably more accurate because now, yeah, I don't know. Probably on a5 you have to play this move, and probably it is still fine. I don't know what the engine is saying. Probably, I don't know what he's saying. My engine doesn't work right now, so it's okay. I don't know if rook b1 is even accurate. Probably queen c3 is good, but queen d4 is probably an alternative. Or this in order to play bishop e4. Aha, this is a good way to draw the position. But okay, I played a5 with a quite cool idea. After take, I played queen b5. And my idea right now is that I just want to play bishop c5, trading the bishops and going forward with my pawns. He played bishop b6, and I guess you already know the best move. bishop c5. And after he moves his king, for example, I would just push my pawns and taking there, winning a pawn and being completely winning. But he decided to take first, so now it's just very easy to end the game. And he played here queen b4, and queen b4 is again for the engine, is it inaccurate? For humans, is it hard? But now I will show you how to win this type of position, because this position is really difficult to look at, because you see, yeah, I will promote to a queen, but he will also promote to a queen, and the b pawn will touch my rook. I will lose a tempo. In order to understand if you are better or not, you should first look at your own pawns and look how many moves do they need to be on the first rank for me. So now after this, I only need 2 more moves. This pawn needs 1, 2, 3, 4 moves, and this needs only 3. But now let's calculate what is going on if he goes there. I can play this move. If you do a7, I will just do queen. If you do a queen, I will just take your rook on check, then taking this. And if you take my queen, I will just take with my rook, you go there, and then I go behind the pawn, and you see the pawn is not in time to defend. So let's say after a6, my opponent plays b5. Now it is even more winning, because I can probably just go d3, but c8 queen looks also correct, because after a7 I just take, and if you go this like this, I can just go d3, and after you play a7 I just go there, you play b6, I go there, and probably I just miss this position. Probably I just missed this position. If queen b7, no, but white it is white turn to move. Let me look at this. Yeah, so b5, probably d3 is playable. Wait. I have to look at this position. You see, this is a very hard type of position. It's really hard. Wait, c1 takes this, probably rook b1, a7, rook a1. This is just losing too much tempo. So d3, a7, d2, b6, d1 queen, b7, take the rook, take everything. So it's quite okay. So probably d3 right now is the best move. So after a7, then this is just, again, this is check. If you do queen, I take there. So this, b6, and now I'm in time. No, I'm not. Again, this is the same position. Wait. Let me look. Let me see a few seconds. So a7. No wait. b5. This. a7. I can just play d2. I'm so stupid. I can just play d2. So after queen, I'm just taking there. And if you play b6, I will just promote to a queen, and it is completely fine because I have thousands of checks and even mate. So it doesn't work. So I guess after b6, yes. So now I'm just completely winning. So I guess after b5, the best move is d3. After a7, the best move is d2, and these 2 pawns are just strong enough. Yeah. I'm a bit tired, and probably So that's the reason why I couldn't find the best move directly. So it is just a quick way to show you how to understand this type of endgames. It's just a question of calculation. So I guess it is good enough. Is there more question in the crowd? Let's look at the chat. No, there is nobody. If everything is correct, you can just send me a hand or something in order to tell me that you understood everything. Is it okay to you? Yes. Okay. I will again show you this endgame, so because I will ask to. So c4, queen there, I'm just trading. And now c3. If you go a6, I just play c2. If a7, I do a queen. You cannot do a queen because I take there first and I take the queen. So let's say a7. A7 is not possible because I do a queen first. So let's say, not a7, but rook c1. So now it is even more winning for me because I have d3, a7, d2, and now you can be afraid of this take because if I take, there is a queen on check, but I do a queen first and then I take with the queen, and b5 is not a problem. Yeah, oopsie. Yeah, so it's not a problem. So let's go back after. Yeah, so exactly. So after a6, I just go c2, and if you do b5, I don't do c1 queen because these 2 pawns will be very hard to stop. But d3, in order to be really, really sure that this position is winning, why not? Why not this, this? Ah, I saw even another win. I can just go there, rook a1. If this, and if this. So it's completely winning. So again, I just completely overlooked that. So now it's clearly winning, and yeah, it's funny. I promoted to a queen in the end and said it's a mistake. So yeah, so pretty interesting. So thank you very much for this small session. It's 35 minutes. Thank you very much. See you in a future upload. And if anybody on YouTube wants to participate in this lecture, just again go in the comment section, write to me, or go in the description. There is my email address. So if you want, you can just write me. I will give you all the information. So thank you very much, and bye bye.